This is actually verging on quite unfair on Brendan Rodgers. Why is he the guy that has to constantly act as a human shield for the board when people are asking questions about transfers? Because the board are like, right, well, let's get all these other things out the way. Let's get Johnny Kenny's new contract out the way. Let's get these guys that we've scouted for a couple of months since last year, the guys from Japan, and let's get them out the way. And we know KT's coming, that's done. And Nigrin, we've got a deal for. Let's get so that's all the you get all the easy work out the way. Now let's go and spend the last 8 weeks of the window trying to get the absolute best we can for the manager. I can believe that situation occurs, but you're making a face at me, Melly, and so it's because there's nothing to back it up, because there's zero credit in the bank.
See, this is a thing that is the communication. I'm not saying explicitly say what they're doing behind the scenes, but if we were informed that there was some sort of plan at play, I think we'd all be a lot more at ease with it, because we were talking earlier about why Brendan Rodgers is the only guy, having to just run about putting out fires, he's the only guy from the club talking about it. And I did think, right, well, is this normal? And it took me, what was it, a second maybe? I went away, and in our group chat, I went away, and it took me less than a minute to dig up 2 interviews with Omar Barada of Man United, who is their chief executive. He's done interviews, he's spoken about the disappointments of last season, and he's spoken about the optimism of going forward and their new strategy when it comes to transfers, and just so much out there coming from the very top of the club. I also found stuff from Southampton's technical director talking about what the plans are. So this is perfectly fine. In any other facet of football, you get guys from the very top talking directly to the fans, whether it's via the club website or various newspapers. They talk to the fans. I know a lot of people would be like, oh, Michael Nicholson, he doesn't need to bother with us plebs, right? He's away in his ivory office dealing with all that. But like Omar Barada is like, he's operating many, many levels above Michael Nicholson. I'm not talking about the size of the club or anything, but that's a guy who has worked for years at Man City. Yep. He was poached by Man United. They threw ridiculous money at him to come and do the same for them. He's turned down NFL franchises and everything. This is a guy working at the absolute top level of the sport in that kind of executive administrative role that he performs, and he's still talking to the fans about what they want to hear, and you know, it's very odd that we get nothing of that nature from Celtic whatsoever, and it literally is just Brendan Rodgers out there saying, I don't know.
The onus seems to be only on Brendan to allay fans' fears, to run defence for the board. He can't say, and he needs to be very, very careful what he says, because he knows fans are touchy about transfers, and he knows we're all getting a bit het up and pissed off.
He can't say, no, I'm not satisfied with my squad, and he can't say, yes, I'm satisfied with my squad. So he's finding other ways to say neither of those things.